The pen was heavier than it should have been. That was the first thing I noticed. Black ink, cream paper. Her friends leaned against the kitchen counter like spectators at a minor execution. Wine glasses clinked softly. Someone laughed. "He's such a weak man." They didn't lower their voices. They wanted me to hear it. They wanted me to fold. I smiled, a small, careful curve of the mouth, the kind you wear when you're already gone. "I accept the open marriage," I said, and signed my name. The room exhaled. Relief, triumph, pity disguised as humor. My wife didn't look at me. She stared at the paper as if it were a mirror that finally told the truth about me. Her friends watched my hand, waiting for it to shake. It didn't. That night, I lay awake beside her, listening to her breathing. Slow, even, practiced. I counted the seconds between each rise of her chest and realized something cold and clarifying. This wasn't surrender. This was permission. The next evening, I walked into a restaurant I had never liked. Too loud, too public. She liked it because it made her feel watched. She didn't see me at first, but everyone else did. I was holding the ringleader's hand. Not tightly, not dramatically, just enough. The table went dead silent. My wife looked up and ran. People assume betrayal announces itself with fireworks. It doesn't. It leaks. It leaks through glances that end too quickly, through phones turned face down, through laughter that doesn't include you anymore. Her friends had always been the loudest leak. They treated me like furniture, polite, unnecessary, easily replaced. "She needs more," one of them once said, right in front of me, as if I were an old appliance. I told myself it was just talk, just bored people poisoning air. Denial is quiet. It sounds like reason. The proposal came 3 weeks later. Open marriage, framed as honesty, growth, evolution. She said it calmly, like a doctor explaining a procedure she'd already scheduled. "You don't have to do anything," she said. "It's just freedom." Freedom for her, humiliation for me. I watched her face while she spoke. No fear, no uncertainty, just impatience. She had already stepped into the future. I was the obstacle she needed to step over. Her friends celebrated it before I answered. Smiles sharpened, eyes glittered. That's when I knew. Not about the affairs, not yet, about the contempt. Love doesn't survive contempt. It just waits to be buried. I became invisible on purpose. I agreed to everything, smiled at dinner, asked about her day, paid attention in the ways that made people underestimate me. At night, I watched patterns, messages sent after midnight, calls taken in the bathroom, perfume worn only on certain days. I didn't confront, I cataloged. I pulled phone records, not illegally, quietly, through accounts I managed long before she stopped noticing. I noticed names repeating, numbers saved under emojis. I learned her schedule better than she knew it herself. The ringleader, her closest friend, appeared everywhere, always present, always laughing a second too late. I met her for coffee one afternoon, alone. She thought she was winning. That was her mistake. People reveal themselves when they believe you're already broken. "She needs excitement," she said, stirring sugar she didn't use. "You understand." I nodded, asked nothing, remembered everything. That night, I booked a flight. Not impulsively, precisely. Accounts were shifted, assets untangled, papers prepared. Revenge doesn't rush. It waits until it's irreversible. The proof arrived on a Tuesday. Not dramatic, not explosive. A folder, time-stamped, verified, names connected in clean, unforgiving lines. I didn't feel anger. I felt relief. Certainty is calming. I invited my wife to dinner. Neutral place, public, controlled. I slid the folder across the table. She opened it. Her face collapsed in stages. Confusion, recognition, panic. "You went through my things," she whispered. I shook my head. "You left them everywhere." She cried. not loudly, strategically, tears meant to reframe the moment. I watched, detached, almost curious. "I was going to tell you," she said. They always say that. I stood up, placed money on the table, and left her there with the truth and no audience to perform for. The restaurant the next night was brighter, cleaner. I walked in holding the ringleader's hand because she had asked me to, because she thought it was symbolic, because she didn't understand what symbols cost. Her friends stared. My wife saw us and broke. She ran. The ringleader's smile faltered when I leaned in and whispered, "Check your email." She did. Her hand went cold in mine. Everything she had built on manipulation, her job, her reputation, her careful lies, collapsed quietly in real time. I let go. Power doesn't need witnesses. A week later, my phone buzzed. My daughter-in-law's voice, sharp with entitlement. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I replied, "Enjoy." When she saw the photos, white stone, glass walls, Swiss light pouring into rooms that belonged only to me, my phone rang 71 times. I didn't answer. Switzerland is quiet in a way that feels earned. No one knows me here. No one asks what I gave up to arrive. Sometimes I think about the man who signed that paper, the one they laughed at, the one they mistook for weak because he didn't fight in public. He wasn't weak, he was patient. Betrayal taught me something simple and permanent. Never argue with people who underestimate you. Let them, then leave them exactly where they stand, alone with the noise they created.